Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finances, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of July 2020. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I will be using my Groovy Weight Tarot deck. For clarifiers, I will be using my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And then, Cancer, I will close out your reading with a Goddess Power Oracle card. So let's go ahead and jump right into your reading. So, what do we need to know for the sign of Cancer as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of July 2020? All right, Cancer. Well, I can tell you that the worst is over, which is really, really good. You know, you kind of went through some things, and you probably weren't sure what was going to happen next. You could have been disappointed or heartbroken over something, but you're on the road to healing. You're on the road to recovery. Things are definitely shifting, and things are starting to settle down, and you're starting to feel a little bit more clear when you were maybe even feeling lost. And, you know, things are definitely going to start working and growing in your favor. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles here. Now, the Seven of Pentacles talks about feeling a little melancholy. Now, especially as it relates to work and your money. It's not that you're really excited about anything, but you're not really, but you're not like depressed either. It's like you're just kind of ho-hum. You're just kind of, you know, plugging along, maybe with no real direction, or just feeling like things are just kind of a little out of sorts, and you can't exactly pinpoint what it is that you need to change or you need to fix or what you need to do. I just want you to know that, Cancer, you're gonna get some clarity, and you're gonna feel like things are starting to work in your favor sooner rather than later. And I can say that because we have the Ace of Wands here. Now, the Ace of Wands talks about new growth, new beginnings, a new project too, where, you know, it's almost like it kind of puts you in a whole new mindset. It puts you in a whole new energy where things just kind of really are exciting for you, and they haven't been in a really long time. Now, we also have the Tower card here in reverse, and this talks about the worst is over, right? You could have had some, you know, things that just were not good. I'll say it that way. But I have to tell you that you're starting to rebuild. Things broke down. You broke through. The path is cleared. New things are being put in place. You're coming back stronger, better, faster, wiser. And so you're just going to have to trust the process on this. We also have the Five of Cups here, which talks about you looking back and trying to maybe second guess, you know, could I have done better? Should I have done this? You're going to have to let that go. Why? Because it's not going to serve you. And it doesn't really matter because you can't change it. However, what you've got and what you've learned is definitely going to carry you through to that next level, especially as it relates to your money. You have, excuse me, you have growth coming. You have new projects coming. If you are looking for a new job, that is definitely coming, and it's going to allow you to grow and thrive in a way that you did not expect. And it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Now we also have the Three of Swords in the reverse, meaning that, yes, you had your heart broken, but you're healing. You're getting over it. You're learning the lessons, and you're moving forward. You also have the Four of Swords here in the reverse, which talks about You're no longer holding back. You're starting to show up for yourself in a big and powerful way. You're also really just you're not hiding anymore. You're not staying home. You're not doing anything less than anymore. You're really starting to be proactive for yourself. And this really affects your money too. You're starting to show up in a bigger, better way. You're starting to kind of take action. Maybe you haven't felt inspired to, but now you're really motivated to do something. You're really motivated, and you're really doing what you need to do and what you can do right now to show up for yourself. And this is definitely going to impact your finances in a very positive and secure way. So let's go ahead and see what else do we need to know for the sign of Cancer. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of July 2020. Okay. I think I'm going to move everybody down so I can get all of your beautiful cards here. Okay. All right, so like I said, it looks like you're just kind of cleaning up a lot of residual energy that was kind of affecting you mentally, emotionally, and financially. And I can say that here because we have the Five of Wands in the reverse. Now, this talks about strained communication. However, when it shows up in the reverse, it means, the communication is being fixed. You're starting to talk. You're starting to open up. You're starting to really relate to people on a more intimate level that wasn't available before, because it could have been stuff going on with you, could have been stuff going on with them, but the communication is getting better. You're able to really express genuinely your needs and who you are and what you want, and the other person is being very receptive to that. So this is definitely good, especially if you're trying to communicate in your workplace. You're starting to talk about what you need. If you haven't started doing that, you need to be confident that you can do that at this time. If you need to ask for a raise, do that. If you need to have a conversation with someone about, some changes that need to be made, feel confident that you can do that and that the conversation is going to go really, really well. Now, we also have the Two of Pentacles here. This means you're kind of balancing your money a little bit. Sometimes we kind of get in these periods of time where we don't know what's going to happen, and so we have to be very careful with our spending. It looks like you're very much aware of that, Cancer, and you are being careful with your spending. You're starting to kind of plan ahead as it relates to your bills. This is very, very good. It also talks too about, if you kind of have a business and you're trying to make decisions on purchases or maybe investing, now probably wouldn't be the best time, not because you can't afford to, but that money may need to be redirected somewhere else later on. So look at that as just kind of a heads up and something to think about before you actually spend the money or make the investment. Now, we also have the Six of Cups here in the reverse. This talks about someone showing up from your past, could be something showing up from your past, and it's something that you thought was probably over and done with. Well, it shows up again. And I'm feeling like this is something more of a situation, not exactly a person. Something in your professional or work life shows up again, and you're going to have to deal with that. Now, it could be, maybe you connect with an old colleague, maybe some paperwork from an old job, something like that. It's more of a nuisance and an inconvenience. It's not necessarily anything bad or negative. It's just like, I thought I dealt with this. Maybe you get a bill and they say, oh, you owe this money. And you're like, no, here's my receipt. I paid that bill already. Okay. It's something, something like that, where it's just like, I got to deal with this again. So, but you're going to come out on top. So don't stress about it. Just maintain your cool and it'll sort itself out. Next, we have the Nine of Swords here in the reverse. That's another good card in the reverse because it talks about you're no longer worrying or stressing about things. It's like okay, I've kind of given this all the mental energy that I'm going to give it. I'm not going to allow this situation to drain me or to overwhelm me. I'm kind of moving on, doing what I can, and I'm making a conscious choice to stay positive, and it's going to pay off because you just kind of are in a headspace to where you're just like, this is what I need to do for myself right now, and I'm not going to do anything that's not going to support me wholly and fully. Next, we have the Eight of Pentacles here. Now, the Eight of Pentacles talks about, it could be a slowdown in your workflow. Could be a temporary slowdown in business. Could be a temporary slowdown in customers or sales or something like that. Don't fret about that. It's just the normal cycle of business. It's the normal cycle, of life, really, where you have your ups, your downs, and things always tend to circle back around, and it could also be a time, too, that, during this downtime, it gives you the opportunity to kind of explore some new things, maybe implement some new practices, maybe start working on a side hustle or a side project. Whatever it is, you're definitely going to embrace this temporary slowdown and use it to your advantage. Finally, we have the Fool card in the upright position. One of my favorite cards. It's a very good card because it talks about moving into a new direction and taking on a new adventure. This is very exciting, like I said, especially if you are pursuing like a side hustle or a side business, but also too if you're thinking about going into a brand new industry or moving to a brand new company, so doing something totally different than what you're currently doing. It's going to pay off for you in some way, shape, or form. Now, you may not see the immediate payoff, but it's going to pay off for you probably in a profitable way, but also probably in a mentally stimulating way, probably also in an emotionally, spiritually satisfying way. So don't ignore that desire to do something else or to pursue something different, because it is going to reward you, and it's going to reward you very nicely. All right, Cancer, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of July 2020. What do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? Nice. All right, Cancer, as we move into the second half of July, you're going to see that you're just really going to be overcoming. Things are really just going to literally, the negative stuff that's going on, that's holding you back in your work and in your money, in your business, is literally just going to start falling away. And I can say that by these three cards here. You have the Nine of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles, and you have the Seven of Swords here. The Nine of Wands, this is a card that talks about kind of feeling defeated, kind of feeling like you're ready to give up. However, it's in the reverse. It means those feelings are passing. Those feelings are moving away. You're overcoming. You are kind of redefining who you are. It's a very powerful moment for you personally, because you start to see very clearly who you are, what you want, what you're willing to accept, what you will not tolerate, what your boundaries are, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. It's like you get really, really clear on what you're doing and why you're doing it, okay? We also have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This talks about the days of feeling so constricted financially are over, right? As we move into the second half of July, you're going to see that your money flow is starting to kind of flow, right? Money could have been tied up for whatever reason. Things are going to start flowing. Things are going to start moving, especially your money. So get ready for that, and it doesn't matter if you're an employee, if you're a business owner, if you're unemployed, whatever the case may be, just know that things are going to start feeling at ease. You're going to be really having a much more graceful relationship with money, okay? So it's going to allow you to relax, and it's going to allow you to kind of get really, really clear about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Next, we have the Seven of Swords. If something or somebody was being dishonest or shifty or shady, that situation is gone, okay? And if it's not gone, it will be taken care of very soon. You don't have to worry about someone, kind of being dishonest, or if maybe somebody stole something, or maybe somebody was just being a shady character, I want you to know that situation is going to be finished. All right. We don't know exactly how it's going to come into play, but you can trust that you will be removed and you will be absolved from this negativity. Okay, somebody's doing something that's not right, and it's not going to affect you any longer. It's going to be dealt with and it's going to be done, especially in the second half of July. Now we also have the Three of Pentacles here. Three of Pentacles, you're being recognized for your good work. People want to connect with you, Cancer. People want to work with you. People see your talent. They see your experience. They admire you. They're impressed. So just know that you are, a highly sought after, very successful professional in your own right, in your own way. It doesn't mean that you're the most well-known person in your industry, but it doesn't mean that you're, some amateur either. You definitely have skills and you have talents, and people recognize that, and you get compensated for that. Okay. So, don't ever doubt that. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are going to be compensated for what you know and for what you do. Finally, we have the Sun card here. Now, the Sun card, one of the most positive cards in the deck. When it shows up in the reverse, it means that good is still happening. It just may not be to the degree that you expect. So yes, maybe you do win the lottery, but instead of winning $1 million, you win $500,000. It's something along those lines where good is still coming, but it just may be to a lesser degree. All right. So as it relates to your money, as it relates to your finances, once we hit the end of the third week of July, just know that the good is going to start showing up. Positive things are definitely going to start happening, and you're definitely going to be in the right place at the right time. All right, Cancer, let's continue on and see how things are going to look for you once we hit the end of the month. So what else do we need to know for the sign of Cancer as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? For the month of July 2020, I feel like I need one more card here. Yes. All right. So what I can tell you is that as we close out the month, you're going to have some people around you who are definitely kind of power players here. If you're looking for a new job, you're going to be surrounded by some good people who are going to be able to lead you in the right direction. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, I do see some really solid mentors or people, coaches, or people who really are interested in sharing their knowledge as a way to help you grow and to help you succeed. We have the King of Pentacles here. Now, the King of Pentacles is all about financial literacy. A lot of times when he shows up, it's somebody who makes really good, solid decisions, and someone who is really clear and informed about the pulse of what's going on in the market. Now, this could be the real estate market. It could be the stock market. It could be investments. It could be in a particular job or industry or a career. But you are going to have somebody who will give you some good information. Okay, so just know that if you are looking for help, support, mentorship, a coach, like I said, that person will be showing up for you once we hit the end of July. Now, we also have the Queen of Swords here. Now, the Queen of Swords, she's someone who is very meticulous about eliminating the unnecessary. Right? So this could be a person, a literal person. It could also be an energy where you get to this point where you start releasing what you don't need, and you start getting very clear about what you need and what you don't, and you have no problem removing people, things, circumstances, and whatever that's just not serving you. But the removing of those things definitely pays off for you in a very profitable way. It definitely opens up the flow of money, and it also kind of gives you more mental clarity. It kind of gets you really, really solid in your beliefs about what you want and how to achieve your goals without being negatively impacted by stuff that is unnecessary. Next up, we have that Six of Cups again. Now, again, we have that card here, so I'm getting the sense this could be something that's a repeated nuisance that you're going to have to deal with. Whatever this is, I'm getting the sense that there's going to be something more you have to do in order to take care of this inconvenience here. Now, this could also be a person that shows up from your past. Maybe someone who you broke up with. Could be an old job trying to recruit you to come back. It could also be a situation that you said no to, but someone's trying to convince you, oh, come on, this will be great, this will be great. Whatever it is, it was something you probably were not interested in, but it keeps showing up. If you're very, very clear that this is not something you want to be a part of, you're going to have to really, really communicate, hey, I'm not interested, or you may have to kind of really go within and say, hey, why does this keep showing up? What am I doing? Is this something that I need to kind of address from more than one angle? Is this something I need to work on? Is there something I need to do? Because whatever it is, it's a repeated nuisance is what I'm getting, okay? So, second week of July, end of July here. I'm not getting a whole lot more intuitively on this. I keep getting the word repeated inconvenience as it relates to that. Next up, we have the Page of Swords. This is more message information coming through. This is something that's being eliminated, okay? When the Page of Swords shows up, it means something is being removed, something is being taken away. Now, this isn't necessarily bad, right? Like, let's say somebody gets laid off at the job, and so now that creates an opportunity for you to advance or to get a raise or whatever the case may be. But just know that the Page of Swords talks about news and information about something going away, being eliminated, being removed, being stopped, being cut off, something along those lines. Finally, we have the Ace of Pentacles. You definitely have a good money thing happening once we hit the end of July going into August. You have either a new job, it could be a new business, a new profitable adventure, something that's bringing in revenue, something that's bringing in money. You definitely have something good, something positive happening for you, Cancer, as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. Now, this could even be something new where you start a new project, you start a new business. It could also be, someone literally giving you money, investing in you so you can start a business. Whatever the case may be, it's definitely good, and it's definitely something that's going to, you're going to see a return on it, sooner rather than later. So overall, Cancer, you've got a very interesting, I want to say, it's a month filled with a lot of growth. And it's a month of awareness too. It's like you're starting to realize, exactly how you want to shape your financial world, and how you want to be identified in your career and in your work, and how you want to be recognized by your peers. So July is definitely going to be a month of exploration and definitely a month of growth. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Goddess Power Oracle card. Oh, nice. All right, card number 26, Kuan Yin. And I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, feel free to correct me down in the comments below. But we've got Kuan Yin. This is the card of compassion. And you know what? Now that we are looking at this, I do see that as kind of the underlying theme of some of the cards in your reading today. Compassion. Not only having compassion for others, but being compassionate with yourself as you are trying to learn and grow and figure everything out. You know, no one expects you to have all the answers, so don't pressure yourself in, thinking you have to be further along than you are. No, we're all growing, we're all learning, and we're all on our own individual, unique, interesting path. It's definitely something that like I said, it's definitely kind of putting you in a state of awakening, as well as a state of allowing too. So, okay, Cancer, well, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. And if you'd like to connect with me for a private reading, I will have that information linked in the description as well. All right, Cancer, thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. We'll definitely do it all again next month.